welcome to the Curious Minds podcast.
Proudly supported by Accelerating Aotearoa.
This is a podcast where we take a problem.
In our case, it's the poo problem here in Otara.
That's right, when it rains, it floods poo.
So our team designed an AI-driven self-flying drone called the Flying Taniwha.
To take photos of poop in the water when it rains.
So we can own our data to show our lawmakers to lobby for change.
We don't think it's good enough that our local waterways are becoming too polluted to swim in.
So this podcast is about finding small solutions to big problems by having conversations with influential people.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Curious Minds podcast, the first episode, and today we have a very special guest joining us, Troy Brockbank. Hello Troy, how are you?
Tēnā koe, yeah, good, really well. What about yourself?
I'm very good too. So for everyone in this room and everyone at home watching, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
What I do?
Yeah, like for a living.
Yeah. Oh, mate, before I do that, maybe I jump into about where I'm from, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, cool. So, ko taumata māhui te maunga, ko tinana te waka, ko taonge te wai, te reke te ripo, ko te raroa te iwi, ko Ngāti te Aote hapu, ko te raroa te marae, no Pukipoto hau ko Troy Brockbank hau. So I hail from the far north, a little place called Pukipoto, which is in between Aipara and Kaitaia. I grew up there, lucky enough to grow underneath the shadows of tupuna maunga, the maunga that catches the rain, taumata māhui, or the maunga that at the taumata, the peak of it, there's a lot of māhui trees growing tall and strong. Tinana was my waka that my ancestor came here, Tumuana, and also Taonge was an ancestral waterway, a wetland, our water. One of the reasons is I kind of went into the career I came into. And my name's Troy Brockbank. So I'm a civil engineer, water engineer by trade. Primarily I've worked a lot of my career in stormwater management, stormwater solutions, to also waterway restorations, to pipes in the ground, to plantings and streams and all sorts. And that's pretty much me.
Wow, that's very, very interesting. So besides drinking the clean water, why else do you think that clean water is very important to New Zealand?
Well, to me, it kind of goes back to this whakatauki, this proverb. And it goes, ka ora te wai, ka ora te whenua, ka ora te whenua, ka ora te tangata. So what that basically means is, if the water is healthy, the land is healthy. If the land is healthy, the people are healthy. So to me, that kind of embodies why water needs to be clean, why we have to ensure water is clean, and why we need to protect water. Because basically, if it's not healthy, then we're not healthy, because we're a reflection of the water.
Right. And my last question for you is, so can you basically tell us what your understanding of the name Otara, like how did you come to know this and what is your understanding of it?
Yeah, so there's numerous different stories around Otara. So my understanding is named after one of the Taniwha that guided the Tainui waka into this area. And one of those Taniwha was called Tarumainuku. So my understanding is that it was this Taniwha that paved its way into the stream and created the stream. And that's kind of why the stream kind of has its little nooks and crannies and its bends. It's kind of like the Taniwha. You can imagine it kind of going up, swimming up, creating the waterways as such. So my understanding is that's where Otara come from, o Tarumainuku. And then from there's also other stories around the ancestor who lived in this area as well, Tarumainuku. You had all Tarumainuku being the maunga. So many. That's my kind of understanding of this area, of this rohe.
That's very, very interesting. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you today. I'm sure my brother will come in after me asking you some more questions. But it was very nice to meet you, and thank you for telling me a little bit about yourself and
No worries.
your understanding.
Awesome.
Hey, I'm Matteo. Troy, what do you think we can do about our local neighborhoods filling up with feces when it rains?
Yeah, it's a good question. You know, there's this massive problem here at the moment. We have numerous overflows from wastewater into stormwater. We have some illegal connections here that, you know, we all know about. We all seen them. We all seen the results of them. But they're there, right? Illegal connections. There is, you know, certain combined sewers as well in this area. So there's a lot, you know, that can be done, but you know, not many people are doing something about it, right? So there's two different problems here to kind of go down. In the first instance, you know, this problem around, you know, what can we do about it? Well, it really starts with ourselves. We really have to kind of look at our own attitude. You know, how are we treating the water? How are we treating the environment that we live in? You know, if we're doing something and we knowingly is wasting water, if we know that is, you know, discharging wastewater in some form, you know, tipping paint down drains and, you know, maybe, dare I say, we go to the toilet a lot, but, you know, that's only normal, right?
Yeah.
But there's certain things that we do as humans, which, you know, we don't have a care in the world for. We tend to just flush the toilet, do our business, and think, oh, we don't really care where it goes. But it's us, really, right, who are creating this problem. There's a problem there, but it's us who are creating it. So I guess the first thing really is we've got to look at our own attitudes, our own mana enhancing approaches. How are we giving mana or enhancing the mana of the waterways? You know, that's the first one. We have to really look really deep into that. We're not going to do it now. But the other thing really is that people need to know about this. You know, this podcast, for example, we need to get this message out because it's this problem. We can't swim there in any of the waterways, can't drink from any of the waterways. Not many people harvesting kai from these waterways. No one's got a connection to these waterways. You know, so there's all these things that we got to get out there. Easier said than done. You know, and it starts with, you know, our community, and this is the community place, right? So it's already started. So you can imagine the community is the heart, or the hub is the heart of the community. So it's already pumping. So now we just got to circulate that blood around, you know, circulate that toto, you know, toto as well, being those with the waterways itself, the toto of Papa Tonoku, or the blood of the Earth Mother, you know. So it really involves getting out there, seeing the councils, going out there into the community, going out there into central government. You know, there's numerous different people talking about this thing called te mana o te wai. And I think this is a place, you know, this is a problem that really highlights te mana o te wai, what we need to do to, I guess, heal these waterways, heal the ancestors, tara mai nuku, the taniwha, the people of the whenua, the tangata whenua. And we can all do that through te mana o te wai.
And if we keep going down this trajectory of not, like, caring about the environment, what do you think the impact will be?
Death.
Just death?
Death, like the worst case scenario, death to the environment, death to us. If we go back to that whakatauki before, if water is not clean, if it's not healthy, the whenua is not going to be healthy, and then we're not going to be healthy. Like, what's the point? Like, basically, right?
Yeah. And we have you, and you're a big figure, but who else do you think we could talk to about this problem?
Good question. Here in Tamaki, you know.
Yeah, just anywhere.
Anywhere. Everyone that listens. You know, if someone's not listening, we've got to find someone else. You know, that's basically what it comes down to. We need to find, you know, those who play by the golden rule. You know, those with the gold make the rules. You know, it sounds easier than it is, but there's someone out there that will listen There's someone out there who does care deeply enough to make a difference. We all can make our difference, but we really need, like you do need the gold. We do need the heart. We do need the money. We need to have the right attitude. You know, and we got that. You got that here in this room. Maybe not the gold, but we're getting to there, right?
Yeah.
And I think, you know, these numerous different people that we can call out. You know, you got Healthy Waters at Auckland Council. You know, we've got Water Care. You know, they're supposed to be looking after our wastewater. They're supposed to be, and Healthy Water is supposed to be looking after our stormwater. Soon enough, you know, those two entities will probably be combined into the new, a proposed Northern Waters, or this entity that's going to look after the three waters as part of the whole water reforms that are happening right now. So they're going to be the next entity to talk about this particular issue. It's going to be their responsibility to clean it up. But then we also got the DIA, Department of Internal Affairs, who also overseen the, you know, Three Waters policy. You know, to me, they've got to go from that policy level and come down to the ground level. Because, you know, there's damage being done in these waterways here, and someone needs to fix it, needs to repair it, needs to heal it. But it's not just them per se. It's also everyone. It's a multifaceted, you know, issue that is connected to everybody. You know, it's much like water. Water is everywhere. You know, it's this deep connection from the, you know, waterways that are flowing to groundwater, to rain, to the moana. You know, mai ngā uta ki tai, from the mountains to the sea. You know, there's so many different levels here, and we're all connected by water, even us as humans. You know, we're effectively walking potatoes, menu. Well, all of us are, you know, basically. So that's why we've got to care about our why. Because, you know, otherwise when people say, ko waikwe, who are you? You know, they're not just saying, who are you? What is your name? They're saying, whose waters are you? Nā waikwe, whose waters are you from? You know, that's how we greet each other in Māori. You know, and that's the deep connection, but that's not just a Māori thing, that's a human being thing. Because like I said, we're walking potatoes. Yeah. I don't know if that answered the question.
I think so.
Cool.
We're walking potatoes. Should be on a shirt.
Yeah, just walking potatoes. Yeah.
Well, those are all the questions I have. I'm sure Vinny will hop in a second, but thank you.
Awesome, my bro.
Hi everyone, my name is Vince. Once again, we'll asking amazing questions to Brock. Oh, was he on?
Troy.
Troy? Ben! What?
Another wrestler from the WWE.
Let me tell you something, brother. All right.
Hey.
Sorry, I got to do that. All right.
2 and finish.
Hi, my name is Vincent. We're joined again with Troy. Hi, Troy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Good. And yourself?
Yeah, good. Good.
Awesome. So, not too long ago downstairs, we showed you the presentation.
Oh, yeah, amazing.
Yeah, man. So, amazing kids are over there. See, they're waving at us.
Awesome.
I know. It's just, you know, we've come a long way in terms of technology, and these are my questions are based on is technology. Have you seen any other countries or any other companies that have come up with water quality testing, AI, or just machines in general to help out with those sort of things?
Yeah, I think starting here in Tamaki, probably the coolest thing apart from today's drone, because that was amazing and I'm still buzzing in my mind of the possibilities of this. The other project I'm aware of is done by Te Puunga Mara, where they design water testing. They brought the cost of water testing down from, I don't know, $300 for these different contaminants down to something like $50. You know, and that was done by a group of rangatahi out of the three marae down in South Auckland. Makaurau marae, Papatūānuku marae, and Manurewa marae. So yeah, a group that stayed together, and they're still doing amazing tile stuff. So they're based down in South Auckland. So that's just one cool thing that I've seen over the last, 5 years in particular. Again, apart from today.
Fair enough.
Like I said, I'm still buzzing about that. Other things in Tamaki, my own company, we use drones quite a lot for water sampling. So back when, obviously the Health and Safety Act, Workplace Act has come out, and it's quite dangerous to get really close to waterways. It's really hard to take samples of coastal marine environments, in particular, because they're so far out, and you need to go all the way out there and come back. So the company I worked with, along with Auckland Council, designed this method of using drones to go fly out there, take a sample, bring it back to shore, that it could be analysed. So that's just one cool thing that's happening. So when you showed me your drone today and how you're taking video, photos, doing testing, I believe, and also taking photos, that's taking it up another level.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. But there's also like these little boats that people do. I've seen them overseas where to get the I can never remember how to say this word. Bathymetric. I don't know, the contours, right?
Yeah.
The contours of a stream. So they've got this little boat. It'd probably be the same size as a drone. In fact, I've actually seen underwater drones as well, which we'll get to.
No way.
So this boat will sit on top of the water and someone would drive it. And what it will do is it scans the bottom of the waterway. So once it's finished, going somewhere, you can produce a photo that's got the exact contours of the stream bed.
Oh, wow.
And I saw that and I was like, that's amazing.
So is it like sonar, and it captures the image?
I guess like some type of like LiDAR, sonar, or, some type of radar penetrating, thing. I don't know much about it. I just seen it.
I could only imagine is like, if you think about it, like if you take the technology of a submarine and how they sweep for like mines. Yeah. So take that, but for our seabeds.
For seabed, yeah. Well, the stream beds, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's one thing. And then the other one I've seen, underwater drones that have been designed to go down to the stream bed and take samples of soil. So actually skim the ground, take the soil and bring it back up. And which again, I thought that was cool.
That is awesome, because then not only are you testing the quality above the surface, which is the water, you also can see what's being soaked up by the dirt. Is that right?
Yeah, or what's kind of filtered down, what the bottom layer, if there any silts in there. So automatically in my mind will go to, all the land development that's happening everywhere. And there's a lot of construction runoff from these things. These practices and devices put in place to stop the sediment getting into the waterways, but because they're at really high concentrations, stuff gets through. Especially the really fine stuff. Very fine dust in particular, like microns thick. So it'll be able to tell if any of that, and that's like the really silty stuff. So it'll be able to detect that, which that's everywhere in Auckland, especially when there's development. Carpeting, or carpeting, I should say, the seabed, the waterways, and effectively killing all the sea life and the water life.
That's a huge coverage.
Yeah.
Think of it, if it has that much effect onto it.
Well, yeah, that's one of the issues of us as humans and what we desire over the health of the environment.
So if you were, and I'm going to end off with this question, is if you were given a blank check. So if you're given a blank check and you were like, hey, you get to design a device, an AI, or a piece of technology that helps along with your work and as well as the waterways. What sort of features you want on the AI or device that you would see critical?
Well, I'm a big fan of whakatauki, so I'm going to say another one.
No?
But there's this whakatauki that's in Te Awa Tupua. Now, the Te Awa Tupua Act. And the Te Awa Tupua Act is the act that gave the Wanganui River legal entity, made it a person effectively. This act did. So within that act, there's this proverb that goes, Kauaka e kōrero mō te awa, kōrero ki te awa. Don't talk about the waterways, talk to the waterways. So when you said that, and the AI and the blank check, in my mind I said, give water a voice. If there was as much as we could, that we could effectively, just water could just talk back to us and say help. I think that would be what I would invest in. An AI like that, because you can imagine it, right?
Yeah.
You imagine the waterways around here. Some of them are saying, "Oh, I've just got a plaster on.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll heal."
Yeah.
Others are going, "I've got no limbs left. I'm choked. I
Yeah.
can't breathe."
Yeah.
And you imagine those waterways talking to us. What's us as humans? What do? We tend to help people who are in need.
Absolutely.
So if those waterways could talk to us, because we're always listening, if they could talk to us and we could make that happen, I reckon, boom.
We have a good idea of
Not
what...
boom as in blow up, but
No.
boom that we've...
No worries. We get a good idea of what's going on with it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's beautiful. And thank you once again.
Hey, I'm here, my bro.
Hey team, I'm Will. I'm obviously one of the giant adults around here. And we're still here with Troy. Troy, on behalf of our group, we want to say thank you for taking time to articulate this with us. We weren't quite sure what we would get because it's a big problem. And big problems don't have, easy solutions. So I think you helping us to arm us with the knowledge, with some tactical things we can do is really awesome. Can we just give you the opportunity to share, where people can follow the journey you're on? If they wish to learn a bit more about what you do for work, how can they do that?
If people want to look at the stuff I've done, you'll find me on LinkedIn. Majority of the
That's
time.
how I found you.
Yeah, that's how most people find me. But there's a lot more, warriors out there, champions, of this mahi. So I think instead of following someone, just go out there and make a difference. Go out there and see your waterway. When was the last time you had a corridor to water? It sounds bizarre, right? But we keep talking about water. We're talking about water. Here we are talking about water again. It's not a bad thing. But, you got to go to the water. If you want to solve the problem, you got to go talk to the water, and the water will show you. It will guide you. It will tell you, you'll feel it. You'll feel its presence. So I think if you want to learn more about this space, go dip your feet in water. Go have a corridor, dip your feet in. Check if you can swim, just in case these feces around, and other things. You don't want a brown log on your back, but maybe dip your feet in and have a corridor.
And I guess that highlights the main problem here in Otara is that you actually can't.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, you can't
Something's
literally.
wrong.
Yeah. So until we can, then you can fulfill what you're saying. We can go to the water, but we can't touch it.
Can't touch it.
Yeah, and that's really bad.
You know when it's really bad? When dogs won't even go in it. When rats won't go in it. That's when it's at the highest level of badness, the worst case. When you see things in it that are dead. When the waterway itself's in a state of waimate, or this, the state of water where it's got more potential to kill living things than to enhance living things. But if you can't go there and touch it, something's wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely something's wrong. You don't necessarily have to drink from waterways. You don't necessarily have to gather kai from waterways. But if there's no life, there's no kai. If you can't touch it, you can't really fully connect to it. We can always talk to water, we can always listen to water, but we really got to make that next step, that difference.
Yeah. Well, once again, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to sharing this and hoping to keep in touch with you on our journey. And just a quick message to the young people who are part of this group. Thank you for being brave to get up here and ask your questions first. Yeah. And of course, Accelerating Aotearoa, who's been on this journey for 20 years. And Vincent, who is the local podcasting hero. Okay, that's us, team. Thank you.